Right, good morning, everybody. It's Bank Holiday Monday in England, and I believe it's the start of the holidays in other parts of the world as well. So thank you very much for taking the time to come on this call this morning. We've got a lot of new faces on here and want to give them a warm welcome to their new CFX journey. Mentoring is helping people move forward. We've all got our own businesses to run, but we all need to take stock of what other people tell us and bring into the mentoring the golden nuggets that we've all learnt from Ron and other members that have really grown their business. So what I've done this morning is gone into the Saturday trainings that Richard Maud and Ray St. Clair have done for us in the past. And I've picked up a 28-minute recording of a chap who came into the business and has grown fast. And he is going to share some golden nuggets with you of how he has progressed with his business. So if you bear with me, I will get that up and play that. Afterwards, we'll chat about it and I can answer any objections.
Who's that Morrison's girl in the background? Do you know her, Janet?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is our regular Saturday training call. As always, we try and do something a bit different every weekend because it's always good to hear from different people because they always have a different perspective on stuff. Something that may appeal to you or not, depending on the person. But we found this to work really, really well. And on today's call, we've got another great speaker and trainer and business builder. Just a bit of background on Jason. Jason has been with the company now for just 7 months. His background, he has an IT and project and program manager. He had his own consultancy business for over 20 years. And he's been working in finance in both the private and public sectors, delivering large-scale infrastructure projects. So he joined CFX, as I said, just under 7 months ago, and is building a business remarkably quickly, and I mean remarkably quickly. In fact, I don't even know how you did this, Jason. It's absolutely extraordinary, but he hit executive in just 27 hours. I think you must have been cheating. You must have been lining it up before you joined. He then went on to become manager just 14 days later and a director in just over 4 months, which is extraordinary. He now has over 3,000 members in his team and has just upgraded to the 100K pack. So congratulations on that. You'll see a significant step up in your income that you can take out from the business, which I'm sure you've already noticed. So Jason has got a lot to share. He does this training regularly for his team. So I thought it'd be great if he'd come on this call and show us all. So over to you, Jason.
Thanks, Richard. Appreciate it, and appreciate the invite to come on and share a little bit about my compass with your wider team. And regarding the 100K pack, had my first day's trading returns yesterday. Oh my word, what a difference that makes. That was a very exciting time for sure. Okay, so before I get into the training, I want to take everybody back in time, okay? I want to take everybody back about 2,000 years, back to the Second Imperial Dynasty of China, okay? We're not going to talk about takeaways, but we're going to talk about the Han Dynasty, where it's commonly believed that the first ever compass was actually invented. Now, it was made of lodestone, which is simply a naturally magnetized mineral called magnetite. Now, I want you to imagine back then the power of belief that the person who effectively discovered that, who invented the compass, the power of belief that they had, the belief in something that works with forces invisible to the human eye. How much belief they must have had to bring that to the emperor, tell him about it, in an era of time where if you kind of said or did something wrong, then the chances are you are probably going to be beheaded before lunch. Okay. Now, what I want to do is fast forward to where we are now and spend a little bit of time talking about my compass and how the constant use of it has helped to enhance and maintain my power of belief, and that I will continue to succeed in everything that I choose to, but more specifically in this wonderful project of CFX that we have right now. Now, my compass stays hidden until I make a decision. It's not physical. It uses mostly things that are also invisible to the human eye. It's effectively made up of a collection of tools and skills that I've honed over the years to basically come together with great synchronicity, that effectively helps me reach my goals by constantly reinforcing and enhancing and maintaining the power of belief in the decision that I made. So the first thing I had to do was actually make a decision. Once I'd made that decision, and that decision was that CFX is a project that I am planting my flag, a project that I will give my commitment to, a project that I will share with others, put my skin in the game and put everything behind it. Once I'd made that decision, my compass naturally comes to bear. So what is it? What is my compass? Well, it starts off with my commitment. And that commitment is, first of all, a decision on what's your first time commitment going to be. Is it a week? Is it a day? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 30 days? Is it 90 days? What is it? You have to make that decision on your initial time. Then you have to make a commitment to yourself. So I make my commitment to me that not only am I going to commit to this project for an initial amount of time, I'm going to make sure that I make that commitment to myself to not get distracted, to not get my focus shifted, to not get deterred from the decision that I made. Following on from that, I make sure that I tell myself that once my commitment is made to honour my own decision, that I can, that I will, end of story, achieve what I set my stall out to do initially. And that's really, really important to make that commitment, because if you don't make that commitment to both time, to both yourself and what you want to achieve, then how are you going to know when enough is enough? How are you going to know when to stop? How are you going to know if you should stop unless you set some initial boundaries and commitments for yourself? But commitment can't stop there. Commitment also has to be made to your generals, to your runners, to those first people you talk to about your decision, those team players, those pyromaniacs, as I like to call them. When I mean pyromaniacs, I mean those people who are natural born fire starters. They like to light a fire under themselves and absolutely propel themselves forward in any decision that they make. They're the people that I make my commitment to equally as strong as I make it to myself. And when those people understand the level of commitment that you're giving, it does nothing but help to enhance their power of belief that they've also made the right decision in joining you on your path. Because like any decision on any project, you'll never see huge success simply by working on your own. You have to do it as a unit. So commitment is first and foremost. Following on from commitment is observation. I don't mean just sitting there looking around, seeing what's going on. I mean really, really observing by looking in a mirror. It's where it all starts. Go look in the mirror, look at yourself, look into your very soul, and make sure that you know you've made a decision that you're prepared to run with. You've got to be really, really honest with yourself, because there's one person that if you try and fool, you're only going to hurt yourself and people around you, and that's you. So you have to look in the mirror, and you have to know that when you look back, that you've done the right thing, that you're going to stand by what you decided, and you're going to stick to that commitment you made. And what helps with that observation, with that raw honesty, is knowing what your goals are. And there's been previous trainings that that Richard's brought to us from people around goal setting. Okay, it is one of the most fundamentally important skills that you can learn. I set my goals every single day. There are some days that I set goals to achieve in an hour. Some days I'll set goals to achieve in a couple of hours, or in a day, or a week, or a month, or a year. I have goals that span all manner of time frames, and they regularly get adjusted. So you have to observe. You have to know what your surroundings are. You have to know that you've looked at yourself in the mirror and you're okay with what you've decided to do. You know what your goals are. And then start observing those people around who are already succeeding in the business that we're in. Look at people like your upline managers, your upline directors, your upline presidents, your ambassadors like Richard. Watch what they do and replicate it. Because if they've achieved a level of success that you're looking for, then adjust your goals accordingly. Carry out the activities that they've done, and you will follow a similar path. You won't follow the same path. Nobody ever does. All of our paths and journeys to reach our own goals of success are all different and unique. Okay? But one thing to know is we used to get in trouble when we were younger for this, right? All of us did. I'm sure many of us got told off by a teacher in school or whatever. But being a copycat, okay, used to get in real trouble for it. But you know what? That counts now as one of my biggest skills in my observation part of my compass. Because you're finding people that have got what you want, you're observing them, and you're replicating what they do. That's absolutely the purest definition of being a copycat. But don't copy everyone. It's okay to be a copycat so long as you find the right cat to copy. So that is observation. That is the second part of my compass. Now, the next is mindset. Again, this is something that there's been regular trainings on from multiple people that Richard's brought to this community. Mindset is fundamental, and you cannot let it waver. And there are some things that you can do to help you with that. Focusing on your goals, focusing on your targets. For me, one key target for me was I've always wanted a Range Rover. Never had one. I've now been able to go out and buy one for cash. It was a huge thing for me. Do you know what me doing that actually did? It wasn't a, right, I'm done now. It was a, this project has let me achieve one of the biggest things I've always wanted to do in my entire life. So all it has done is absolutely strengthen, solidify, and increase my power of belief in the project that we have, because it's already allowing me to achieve those financial and physical goals that I've had for a very long time. So focus on those. Focus on that why. Is it travel? Probably not at the moment, right? But when everything settles down and we're able to travel to the places that we dream of again, keep their focus in your mind. Is it early retirement that you're looking for? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe you're already retired and you're worried about the fact that you have a pension that really isn't cutting the mustard, for want of a better phrase. Have your mindset focused on the problems that you're trying to solve. Focused on those goals that you're trying to achieve. Maybe it's a case of you want a debt-free life. Wonderful. It's also something that I've been able to achieve. Complete debt freedom. Not betrothed to anybody. And it is a wonderful feeling to reach each and every one of these goals. You can start them as just a holiday. Then it's a debt-free life. Then it's a new car, a new house, whatever they may be. They're going to be different for everybody. My mindset on my goals, my achievements will be different to Richard's, Kathleen's, Martin's, Mickey's, Steve's, people that I'm just picking off in random on this call. But it's so very important to understand why you're doing what you're doing every single day, or every other day, or part-time, or full-time, or however much time you're dedicating to the project will determine how much of your mindset is critical to your success. And there's one thing to know, to be certain of, and please, for 1 minute, do not be naive enough to think that you will never, ever be disliked or hated for doing what you wanted to do and achieving your goals. You will get haters. It's a given. It's a fact. It's human nature. Haters stands for people that are having anger towards everyone reaching success. There is nobody within the project that is going to hate your success. There is nobody within the project that is going to have anger towards you achieving your goals. So you must have a solid mindset that allows any external hatred to you, to your success, to the project, to just bounce off you like a bulletproof vest. Mindset is critical, and it will get stronger and stronger as time passes. Every single Saturday you get a trading return. Every single Saturday you get a uni level. Every 1st and 16th when you get a matrix. They will all count to strengthening your mindset, to strengthening the ability to know you're going to reach your goals. The next thing after mindset is a little bit more fundamental to the day-to-day activity. Planning. Oh, I can hear people now. Oh, I hate planning. Oh, why? Why do I have to? Because if you don't plan it, it ain't gonna work. It's just not. If you fail to plan, you can plan to fail. You'll have heard that 1,000 times from people. There's nothing new there. Now, I've had a lifetime of it. Being a project and a program manager, a fundamental part of every single day is planning activity. Who's doing what? When are they doing it? How long is it going to take? How long are they going to do it for? What could go wrong? If something goes wrong, what's the backup? How do I circumvent that? Planning is critical. I live almost every part of my life by the 7 Ps. It's an old military phrase, and I swear by it. The 7 Ps you can put to work when you're making a meal. The 7 Ps you can put to work when you're planning your journey to work, if you're commuting. The 7 Ps you can put to work to know what you're going to do for the next 2 hours of your day. The 7 Ps are quite simply: prior planning and preparation prevents piss poor performance. If you plan it, you will achieve it. It's like Kevin Costner's Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you plan it, you will achieve it. So why and how can you use that? Well, think about it. You make your evening meal. You plan it. You know what your ingredients are. You know what the recipe is. You know when to put stuff in the oven, when to put stuff in the pan, when to take it out, when to serve it, where the sauce goes. That's the 7 Ps. You've planned it. You've prepared it. It's all done beforehand. You've served it. There you go. Wonderful meal. Same with your commute to work. You know what the commute is. You know your normal route. But do you just get on the road and follow it? No. You maybe listen to the radio, listen to the travel news. You do some prior preparation. Is that route still clear? If it isn't, you get sat-nav out. You pick an alternate route. You prepare. You plan. The 7 Ps. Live by it. The next important thing is to always have on hand a diary, a journal for writing stuff down, whether it's booking appointments, whether it's agreeing meeting times with people, whether it's making sure that you've got the right information to be on a call or to present, or your notes. It doesn't matter whether that diary is physical. It doesn't matter if that diary is digital or electronic. Most diaries are these days, right? So it may be critical to your success to have a diary that's by the side of your keyboard, that's in your phone, but have it accessible. The next tool that I use for my planning is one of these little bad boys, a timer. It's so very important. It's a £3 kitchen timer from Amazon that allows me to set a timer for a specific amount of time. Okay. Now,
it's a timer.
Planning. Sorry, I think there's some just some muting that we need to deal with there. Using a timer to block out your time is it's super important because it allows you to stay focused on what you're trying to achieve in that period. So for example, if you have decided that you're going to spend an hour reaching out to people on LinkedIn, shut everything else down on your computer. You don't need it. Have LinkedIn open, have a timer set for an hour. Bang, spend nothing but an hour doing that. You will be amazed the amount you will get achieved. I know people that have said, I spent 3 hours on LinkedIn today, but they didn't. They maybe spent 20 minutes sending messages, looking for people. Then they popped over to Facebook and did a bit of scrolling. Then they popped over and did a bit of email. Then they did a little bit of Google searching. Focus your time. Block the task out. You can do this for hours, for 2 hours, for a day, whatever. Find what works for you, but block your time out. And the final thing about planning is setting smart goals, smart objectives, whatever you want to call them. This is straight out of the corporate world, okay? This is not something new. This isn't reinventing the wheel. This isn't coming up with a brand new idea that's so unique it's going to change the world. This has been around for decades, but it can be applied to this project just as easily as anything. A SMART goal is specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant, and it's time-based. So what is a SMART goal? Company have just introduced a new rank, mentor, awesome. There's no financial benefit to it. But is it a SMART goal? Close, but not quite. The reason it's not really a SMART goal is because it meets the specific requirement. It's there, mentor, it's a specific goal. It meets measurable. To reach mentor, you must have 3 direct referrals. Okay, so we can measure it. Is it attainable? Absolutely, it's attainable. Everybody can do that. It doesn't matter how long it takes, right? Is it relevant? Yeah, of course it is. It's a relevant goal within this project. Is it time-based? that's where it falls down. No. Mentor as a goal is not it's not a truly smart goal because it's not time-based. So let's look at another goal, executive. It's a perfect definition of a SMART goal or a SMART target or whatever you want to add on at the end. Now, why? Why is executive perfect? Well, it's a fundamental financial increase in your income, right? So outside of the SMART arena, it's a goal that we are all striving to achieve. In my humble opinion, executive is the most powerful rank in the entire reward plan until you get to the top, because of the increase in uni level when you get to that point. Now, is it specific? Yeah, it is. Rank of executive, it's specific. We all know what that means. Is it measurable? Well, yeah, there's definitive requirements that we have in order to reach executive. 3 direct referrals. There's 25,000 points in volume. There's only 15,000 points in volume from one leg. Yeah, absolutely, it's measurable. Is it attainable? Yep. Excuse me. Oh, yes, it's absolutely attainable because thousands and thousands and thousands of people have and will continue to achieve it. I've helped over 40 people reach the rank of executive in less than 7 months. So it's absolutely attainable. Is it relevant? Yes, it is, because it's the first financial reward and bonus within our project. Something that every single one of us on this call, there's 750 odd that are watching this right now, and the hundreds of thousands of other people that have yet to achieve it, I can tell you now they're all desperately trying to get to that first rank. Is it time-based? Yes. 30 days rolling cycle. So it is absolutely a perfect SMART goal. So plan your way to achieving executive. Use the 7 Ps. Block out your time. Use your diary, your calendar. Use those tools to achieve your goals. So that's a bit about planning. The next part of my compass, the next waypoint, if you will, is action. What do you mean, action? We hear talk about this all the time. Take massive action. Do it now. That's right. Take action now. You've made a decision. Once you've made a decision, once you've made that commitment, once you've observed your surroundings, you've got your mindset in play, you've planned your way to what you're going to achieve, take action. Don't just then sit there going, oh, well, I kind of know what I'm going to do, but, well, yeah, you know what? Rugby's on. I've got dinner tonight. Excuses. Stop them. Take action now. Don't delay. It's only yourself that you're going to try and fool. It's only yourself that you're going to harm in the long run. You've got a tool in your hand. Most of us have this, a smartphone. I remember the days when I first started in business in general. A phone was unheard of. My first mobile phone, I had to carry a battery on a shoulder strap. You couldn't do anything other than send a short text message and dial a number. These days, you can run an entire business from what's in my hand. And we're glued to them. Take advantage of the way society is heading, the way technology is allowing us to be more efficient with our time. It gives us more capability to take more action immediately. We have such an array of ability to contact other human beings. Think of all the platforms that we're all on. We don't just have the ability to pick up a phone or send a text or an email, but we can communicate through memes and pictures and videos and voice audios, and we can send them through Twitter, Facebook, WhatsApp, Snap, chat. There's hundreds of different media platforms that socially integrate us with billions of other people around the world. You know what you want to do. You know what you want to talk about. You've planned how to do it. You've got the capability of communicating with possibly 90% of every single human being on the planet if you choose. So don't just sit there deciding if you're going to take action. Count yourself down and do it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Do something. And you know what? If you've got your little timer set for an hour, and then you decide to count down and do something, do you know what? Even if you count down and send a message, force yourself to count down, send a message. Count down, send a message. And you do that for an hour. It's phenomenal what you'll achieve. The thing is, it doesn't matter if you don't have every single day as a high productivity day. It doesn't matter. It's okay. It's perfectly okay to have a low productivity day. The one thing I'll say is, don't ever have a 0 activity day or a 0 productivity day, because that's when you start doing damage to your future business. Now, you don't have to build this full time. A lot of people are very successful building it part-time with just a little bit of time every day. Imagine that you did nothing in this business for 6 months. Where would you be? Exactly where you are right now. You'd be in the same place in 6 months' time. You'd be a little bit better off because you've been getting your passive returns every single Saturday. But if you did a little something every day, let's imagine that, let's say you did 30 minutes. 30 minutes, not 9 hours, 30 minutes every single day, 7 days a week, 30 minutes for 6 months. That same 6 month period. Do you realize that in that time you would have done 84 solid hours of work? 3.5 solid days of activity. Now imagine 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, send a message. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, send a message. Can you imagine doing that for 84 hours straight? Imagine how many people you would have spoken to. Imagine how many people would be in your business. Imagine where you would be in 6 months' time if all you did was spend 30 minutes every single day. Action is what will give you that fast growth. It's action that's allowed me to achieve what I've achieved by supporting my team. Now, nothing comes for free, okay? Absolutely nothing. So the next thing I want to talk about is sacrifice, okay? This is the penultimate point on my compass. Now, sacrifice is something that sometimes it's forced upon us. Sometimes we sacrifice things through choice. Sometimes sacrifice is something that we have to make a conscious decision on in order to reach a goal. It's a trade-off. We want a reward, we're going to sacrifice something for it. Imagine when you were a kid. You really want that dessert. You want that apple pie and custard, right? But you really don't want to eat the rest of your greens. But you kind of sacrifice the fact that you hate greens. You're going to force yourself to do something that you don't really want to do because you really want that reward. Or maybe when you're a bit older, you want to buy your first motorbike. So you sacrifice something to save for that bike. Here's the thing. At the moment, a lot of the things that I would normally coach people, educate people on thinking about sacrificing, some of them are being forced upon us right now because of the pandemic. So I would often say to people, just turn off the TV. It's the biggest drain of your time. You find yourself just absorbed in some nonsensical drivel that's not doing anything for you. Turn it off. Maybe you'll sacrifice going to the cinema. But if you sacrifice going to the cinema, which is kind of forced upon us now, say you were somebody that went to the cinema every week or every 2 weeks. Imagine sacrificing one cinema ticket. That's a 3-hour outing, right? Time you get there, watch a movie, get home. Imagine sacrificing a cinema ticket and spending 3 hours on your business. Oh, hang on a minute. Once a week, half an hour a day, half an hour times 6 is 3 hours. That's almost a full week's effort on your business just by giving up a cinema ticket. Sacrificing nights out with friends every now and again. I really miss the times where I'd go and have a poker night with the boys. But you know what? Right now, I can't. I still have those in my schedule. So all I do is I divert the time that I would have spent on a poker night, having a few beers, having some fun, winning or losing some money with the boys. Divert that time to building my business. I don't replace a loved activity with something that I'm just filling time with. I turn that time to my business. So it's not even now a real sacrifice. I don't do any charity events at the moment. I used to love doing stuff and raising money for charity that basically give me a bit of personal growth physically at the same time. I can't do those at the moment. I divert that time, the training I would have spent on those, I turn that time to building my business. I don't really go out much on my bike at the moment. I don't even have my Ducati anymore. I'll get another one. So that's something that I've personally given up. Used to love that. It's given up now, temporarily, while I divert the business to reach the goals I want to achieve. I'll be filling that with a Porsche soon. Giving up other hobbies. I play airsoft a lot. Normally we'll run around the woods playing soldiers, having fun like idiots, and I'll be in charge of a couple of hundred people. I don't do that at the moment. That time is spent building my business because I can't hook up with these guys. I can't travel with my partner. So again, what do? I divert time to my business. Do you know why? So I'm building that pot. So when we can travel again, it's going to be first class all the way. Because I've sacrificed that time that's, in fact, the sacrifice isn't really there because it's been forced on me by the pandemic. So all I've done is recognize that fact and diverted that time to my business. But your life is different to my life. Your life may not have been impacted in the same way. You may still have to travel to your work. You may still have the opportunity to see people regularly. So you have to make your own decisions on what you're prepared to give up temporarily to achieve something that's going to sustain you for a long time. So sacrifices is key. You'll have to make some kind. So the last point on the compass and the last part of the training today is success. We all know what that looks like in our own mind. What does it look like in the project, in CFX? How do we recognize and how do we share our success with others? Well, first and foremost, it's through ranks, because everybody can see what our rank is. Executive, manager, director, president, ambassador, global ambassador, whatever. On the back of that, that's the front end success. That's the bonus of hitting the rank. But at the back end, the success that for me is helping other people to achieve their goals. The joy that that fills me with far outweighs a Rolex or a Porsche or a Ferrari. Now, I'm not going to lie, the financial remuneration of the Bitcoin is huge for me. It's changed my life in more ways than I can ever imagine. So think about success and what that means to you. Is it just monetary? And if it is, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I often say to the universe, it's okay to have everything I want. It's okay to be wealthy. It's okay to have freedom and choices. So once you know what success means to you throughout your book, your path, how do you get there? How does the compass guide you to success? You've got to start. And if that means employing your compass, stealing my compass, if you like, go for it. But start and use whatever tools are there at your disposal to keep you on your path to success. It's going to be an up and down journey. The route you take will change many, many times. There will be periods of acceleration and there will be periods of deceleration. Why? Because life. That's why. So use your tool set once you've started. Plug in to the system. Plug in to the trainings. Plug into your upline, your active upline who is trying to pour fuel on you because you're one of their pyromaniacs. Get yourself connected to those people who are succeeding and achieving what your level of success looks like. Work your business daily. Remember, 30 minutes a day. Just that alone. You've done 84 hours of consistent work in 6 months. It's really not a lot. Once you realize this path, once you realize the steps involved to reach your success, what the plan is, the solidity of your mindset, the observation skills that you've put into play, the commitment you've made to you, your team, and your success, that is the time that you will achieve it. That's the end of my compass. That is how I achieve what I achieve in this business and in life in general. Once I've made a decision, commitment, observation, mindset, planning, action, sacrifice, and success. Richard, appreciate you again for the opportunity to come on and do this training for you.
Okay. Well, I think that was really powerful. Can you put in the chat, please, on a scale of 1 to 10, how that went for you, and if you've managed to take a lot from it, or perhaps it didn't gel with you at all? 1 to 10 being the best, and 1 obviously being the least. Be interesting to see. 10, 10, 10, 10. I think it's a 10, guys. 11. Thanks, Terry. Definitely. So really what that call was all about, it was just set in a different format. It's exactly what Ron has been teaching us, to find somebody to follow, and we're all following Ron's lead. He tells us to get our messages out there every day. Life gets in the way, but do get some out there every single day. Also, we've got our landing pages, which as soon as you've brought 2 people to the table, your sponsor will buy you your landing page. And all you've got to do is your own little personal video saying about your story, not mentioning CFX, and the landing page will do it for you. I'll very briefly bring up my landing page for the few people on the call that are new, that haven't seen a landing page and may not have actually had one sent to them. Okay, can you see the landing page screen? Thumbs up if you can. Thank you, Colin. Okay, so this is what a landing page will look like for those of you that don't know. So you'll get a little section here for you to put your own story in. It's only about 2 minutes long. You can have quite a giggle doing that. Graham and I did several attempts before we actually hit the button, and we're not 100% happy with it now, but Ron rather likes it, and there's a little bit of a giggle in there, but we might redo it further down the line. But it's your story, it's personal to you. So when you do send your landing page out to prospects, they can actually, as they're your friend and your contact, you've actually got that one-to-one and you're a bit closer. So you can go all the way down here. You've got our 90-second presentation. You've got our 8-minute video with John Kinnear, our marketing director, that very briefly tells you all about the company. And then there's more testimonials if you click on the button there. Hazel Moore was 68 years old when she joined this business, never done anything like this before, is now on a 100K pack, and I'm really not sure how many's in her team, but there's a hell of a lot of people, put it that way. And Joanna Molterana, our banking friend, whose background was 12 years in banking. She was like the guy that checked out for frauds and scams in the bank. So she's a good presenter of this business, and she can tell you why it's not too good to be true. All these things are on a landing page. And finally, because I'm very conscious of the time, these packs that are open to new people come on, whatever level they feel comfortable with, you click on a pack and you can show your prospects how much they would be if they came on and sat purely passive, which would be $140 a month or thereabouts, depending on the results of the trading. Or if they brought 3 people into the business on the same level, their income for that month would go up to $640. So very briefly, that is also what's on offer. As soon as you bring 2 people to the table, your sponsor will pay for your landing page. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock. Has anybody got anything they want to share with us? Yes, Ray. Yes.
I was thoroughly impressed with the presentation. As you see, I'm driving. What was that guy's name?
Oh, Jason Gregory, I think. Was it, Terry? You've written
John
it
Regan.
down.
John Regan.
John Regan. Say, thanks, Gabriel. Sorry.
Yeah, I've got to connect with him. So can you give me the recording of this training?
Are you not in the Telegram channel, Raymond?
Okay. Yeah, I am.
Yeah, the Telegram channel for Saturday trainings. They're all in there, and you just scroll back and you'll find that one. I mean, each week I'm going to bring up one that I think is really good, that is worth sharing with us all, and we'll gradually work through. And we've also got on other calls we can do trainings on the dials and things like that, which is all training I think we need. Even I haven't got my head around that one properly. Jason Regan, thank you, David.
Jason Regan, sorry. Jason Regan, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, the other thing is that because he's been on a couple of times before, but on a Saturday, right? So, yeah, so I think if Raymond's got the link for the Saturday, the Saturday channel, you can go through those and find out. Yeah.
There's also the link. There's also the link, a different link for Wednesday workshop. I sent all these links through to you, Nathan, didn't I? For you to be able to go on those. And don't forget on Telegram, we've also got link to a library where you can download books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Power of the Subconscious Mind, all these different books that help us with mindset. and move us forward. And the people that haven't got those links, then I'll gladly share, or I'll share to your sponsor, and your sponsor can share to you if you're not a Facebook friend. Okay, is there anything else this morning before I close the call down? Nope. Okay, well, thank you very much for coming on the call. I wish you all a bank holiday Monday in the UK, and whatever the rest of the world's doing with their holiday time. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next call. The next one, I believe, is Tuesday. You don't all have to come on every call, but it'd be nice to see those of you that can make it. Thank you very much indeed. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.